Okay, I've checked, okay? I'm almost certain this isn't satire. The description links to feminist pages, they're listed under news and politics. It looks real, right? I researched this one so hard that I am 90% sure it's not satire. The other 10% comes from me wishing it was satire, given how stupid it actually is.
Do you trust women?
Yeah. Well,
I think I'd have a similar reaction if somebody walked up to me, shoved a microphone in my face and asked if I trusted women. I trust some women, but you get there are jails that are exclusively for women, right? I wouldn't trust those women.
Do men trust women? I couldn't help but think, of course not.
Of course you couldn't help but think that. See, you're what we call a feminist, and feminists generally think that all men hate and distrust women. So making a video where you can cherry pick the most outrageous reactions proves absolutely nothing.
But that didn't mean I wasn't going to try and change their minds with trust fall exercises.
Yeah, you see, that's a really bad idea. If it wasn't already obvious, it's been scientifically proven that women are naturally weaker in the upper body. So I wouldn't fall into the arms of someone I wasn't convinced couldn't take me at my dead weight. Also, given you're a feminist, I'd be more concerned you'd just stand to one side and laugh as I gained a new acquaintance with the pavement.
Who do you trust more than anyone in the world?
Myself.
Well, that's a prudent enough answer if you ask me, and one I'd have to agree with. I know that I won't steal money from me. I know that I won't betray my trust. If anybody trusts somebody else more than they trust themselves, I really think they need to do a bit of soul searching. But simply trusting yourself the most doesn't mean you don't trust women at all. It was a loaded question to an unsuspecting member of the public who wasn't prepared for it.
I noticed that you didn't say a woman, like your mom or a girlfriend or a sister.
Oh wow, you noticed he said that? You're on the ball, aren't you, sweetheart? You should have been a doctor. As for the mother point, maybe he was adopted. Maybe he had abusive parents. Perhaps he was an only child. Perhaps he's single. But I'm sure from knowing nothing about this man's life and saying he trusts himself the most, you'll use that as justification to infer that he just doesn't trust all women because feminism.
Do you not trust women?
I can.
Well, there you go. He said he can trust women. Take him at his word. Or do you not trust men or something?
I guess I'm generally less afraid of being like straight up like mugged by a woman.
You fear being straight up mugged often? I'd consult a physician for anxiety issues if I were you. But, given you're a man, you're more likely to be mugged or attacked. And yes, it's more likely a man who would do that to you. You know, given that difference in upper body strength we talked about earlier. But that doesn't make women more trustworthy, though. I won't generalize all men as violent muggers, but I won't generalize all women as trustworthy.
This sounds like a win for women.
Care to explain how? He said he's less afraid of being mugged by a woman, not completely absent to the risk of a woman still attacking him. It's not a win for women, it's a win for people who don't generalize entire demographics.
Maybe give me a percentage. How much do you trust women?
Let's say 30% or so.
To be honest, that's a pretty high percentage considering you don't know what women you're investing that trust into. I wouldn't give all women 30% of my trust. I wouldn't generalize any group with 30% of my trust. They'd each have to earn it.
That sounds bad. It stems back to my dad. He always gave me only 2 pieces of advice. One was never trust women.
Sounds to me like his dad had some bad experiences, but I commend you on cherry-picking this candidate to push your narrative. Well done, madam. Wait, are we allowed to say madam, or is that too gendered? And it does seem suspicious and staged that he'd confide that in a complete stranger he was ambushed by while being filmed.
It's okay. I won't force you to trust women, but just know that I'd really like you to.
Alright, first of all, I'd pay good money to try and see you force him to like women. Secondly, why should he, or I, or anyone watching this give a fuck what you would like? You're not even pretty. You can't even play that card.
I don't want to make a generalized statement on all women.
Oh, I would love for you to make a generalized I trust all women statement.
So this guy has his head screwed on and doesn't want to make a generalized statement, but you, the interviewer, want him to make a generalized statement. Why? To humiliate him, and then by extension, men? Whatever organization you work for should fire you for being retarded. And if they don't, they should be boycotted for being as retarded as BuzzFeed or the Huffington Post.
Now, we've gotten pretty intimate right now. I know you're feeling a little vulnerable. Would you say you trust me?
Doesn't take much to get intimate with you. I bet you're an easy one to pick up at the bar. Not that I'd want to. Regardless of how well things went, you're the type of person to call rape in the morning.
No.
This hit me hard.
Oh, darling, you really don't know the meaning of being hit hard.
Who'd like to say they trust women?
Who wants to trust an entire demographic with all kinds of characters involved? Okay. Okay, crickets, you're done. Shoo.
Sure, no man is perfect, but I was certain I could change all of them.
Oh, come on. At this point, it has to be satirical. The blatant hypocrisy. Hey, Jeff, we checked everything, right? Even their links? Oh, links? Oh, so you think we should... Okay. Okay. According to Jeff, we should show you their links and who they represent. And if it is satire, it's been set up to such an elaborate degree that frankly I'd be impressed. But I'll answer Blondie's question with a question. Would you trust all men? Same question, sweetheart. Yes, Jeff, I showed them. Apparently 65 million young people rely on them to tell them what and how to think. It would be a little more convincing if their view count wasn't just over 10 million.
Would you do a trust fall exercise with me?
I wouldn't do trustful exercises with you or anyone.
Probably.
You seem pretty strong, so
I'm not strong.
pumping those guns in the gym.
I'm truly a weak, wet noodle, but I want to know that you can trust a woman.
Even if your heart is in the right place, if you lack the upper body strength, and as you put it, you're as weak as a wet noodle, it's not about trust, it's about being crushed by a man falling on you. I mean, I guess at least he'd have a soft landing.
You're gonna scream, I 100% trust women?
Yeah, I'll scream that.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm so inspired right now. Shut up, Jeff. Let me have my moment.
No, wait. Hold on.
I
You
cheated.
faltered. Why did you falter?
I was picturing myself knocking my head here, you know.
All right, I understand. There are conditions to you trusting women.
There are conditions to trusting women? Well, yeah. One of them is knowing the woman. Know them, like them, consider them trustworthy, much like any other person on the planet. You know, I can't even believe that question was asked.
I set out with one simple mission: to make all men 100% trust all women.
All right, listen up, Ethan Hunt. That is the real Mission Impossible.
But my trust fall exercises didn't change their minds.
So, one sloppy trust exercise wasn't enough to change the minds of grown adults? Making news with every video.
Saved my life. How do you feel?
This isn't really about me. This is about you trusting women.
I said trust women until they break that trust.
A prudent enough answer. Though I personally would have gone with I'd trust a woman once they've earned that trust, rather than giving them that trust and having it broken.
I think what he meant to say is he 100% trusts women.
Thank you, Matt. You get it.
Good job, Matt. All the classic signs of a beta male right there, except maybe the weight. You do realise that mindlessly agreeing with her over the man who gave a reasonable answer will in no way increase your chances of getting her in bed, right?
Yeah, sure, maybe a little bit more. I don't know. I think,
Yeah, sure. I caught you.
One example of one woman out to prove a point that reflects society as a whole, obviously. Jesus Christ.
Most, I'll say most. Can I improve my to some to most? How about that?
I'm pretty bummed out about this.
I will never understand men.
Yes, darling, given your entire video, I'm going to hazard a guess that there's a great deal you don't understand in general. I'm not sure if it's that vacant look in your eyes, or the perpetually perplexed expression, or just the quality or lack thereof of the research you conducted. So, lovely viewers, what would make you trust all women? I'll put the answers that make me laugh the most at the end of my next video, and as always, thank you for your time.